There's no door on it, so I'm just so I'm just sitting there taking a shit, and he's like in his car, but it's facing me, so he's just like pretending to be on his phone in the middle of fucking Oregon where he has no service, and so I'm just shitting there. There's no toilet paper, so I have to take off the waders as I'm like sitting there with a just swamp ass poopy butthole, and take off one of my socks.
And we're live.
I almost wanted to save this one for PKA, but this can be a Patreon exclusive. So I went fly fishing. I've mentioned that before with my dad this past year, and it was just us two and the guide. And it was just this dude in his truck. He picked us up, drove us to Eastern Oregon, and did a whole day of fly fishing. We got there. I get out, and I felt like a rumbling in my stomach in the car on the way there. And I was like, oh, just weather this storm and get through it, and then you can hold it till you get home tonight. And so I got through it, thought it was going to be okay. We're fly fishing for like 3 hours. Then we go to have lunch, and he brought some like sandwiches that were soggy and gross. And so we were sitting there eating, and I just suddenly got the urge of like, if I don't get to a bathroom, I'm going to shit my fucking pants right in this guy's waders. And so I told him, I'm like, I really have to go to the bathroom. Can you drive me to that outhouse 3/4 of a mile away? And I just met this guy. My dad, the guy's like, yeah, sure. You want to wait till we're done eating? And I'm like, no, right now. I need you to get me in that truck, and we need to drive there. And my dad's like, all right, I'll wait here. We start walking up there, and I got so much closer to this guy than I should have for a day of fly fishing, where I was like, honestly, man, like, keep in mind, I just met this guy. He's just showing us how to fly fish. I've known him for 2.5 hours. I'm like, honestly, man, like, I don't think I'm going to make it. Like, would you mind if I just went and shat in the bushes right there? Just went and took a shit. And he's like, honestly, dude, it's like 3/4 of a mile down the road here. I think you can make it. I get up to his door, like the car door, about to open it. And I'm like, dude, like, is it right there? You said that it's 3/4 of a mile. Is it right over that hill? And he's like, it's right over that hill. I'm like, all right, I can do it. So I'm going to shit my fucking pants. It is not right over that hill. And so I'm sitting there right next to him, and he's like, you good? And I'm like, and I'm shifting in his truck seat. I'm like, I'm not going to make it. Like, I'm not going to make it. He pulls right up to this outhouse, just right up to it. I get out, run over, just destroy this little public park outhouse. There's no door on it, so I'm just sitting there taking a shit, and he's like in his car, but it's facing me, so he's just like pretending to be on his phone in the middle of fucking Oregon where he has no service, and so I'm just shitting there. There's no toilet paper, so I have to take off the waders as I'm like sitting there with a just swamp ass poopy butthole, and take off one of my socks and just make do, just like put it on my hand like a mitten. My ass with the poopy sock, throw it away, just have a wet foot the rest of the day. It was horrible. And then the ride back was the most uncomfortable thing of my life, where I got back in. He's like, you feeling better? And I'm like, oh, yeah, you know how it is. And then just there. We didn't, like, he would come up behind me and, like, show me how to cast later in the day, and it was almost so uncomfortable of, like, you know what I've done.